All right, guys. So Tucker, ever since he left Fox News, has been getting weirder and weirder, right? And another great example of it here. So remember when he went on Joe Rogan? There was certain parts everybody was talking about, including him saying, "Hey, nuking civilians in Hiroshima and Nagasaki was bad," and he got a lot of shit from the right over that. I found that mind-boggling because, of course, what he's saying is true. Killing civilians on purpose is like the definition of evil. I don't care if you, but we are by definition the good guy. Shut the fuck up. Anybody killing civilians on purpose is evil. So he got a bunch of shit over that. He said other things that were, sketchy about 9/11 and sort of flirted with the 9/11 truther conspiracy. But the other part, which we covered here, which I didn't see many other people talk about, is he started getting into weird, like, alien, UFO, angels and ghosts and supernatural stuff shit. Well, now he's leaning into it even more. And again, this is not something you saw from him when he was on Fox News. Now he lets his freak flag fly a little bit more. Maybe he's just trying to get attention now that he's in the independent media space. I've used that term loosely. So here he is, he's doing a podcast, and he gives us this absolute banger.
Government has put into its disinformation, its lying on this topic, has been not to mislead you on the technology. Like, they're not telling me they don't have anti-gravity technology. It sounds from watching your podcast that they do, which I believe. No problem believing that. Their main interest is in convincing you that the supernatural is not real. And if you watch, and there are people in the media who specialize in spreading these lies on behalf of the government. I'm not going to name anybody, but like some of them work at the New York Times. Once you realize what the point of the exercise is, it's crazy. And I hope you'll assess all the fact checking and the skepticism on UAPs through this lens. The main thing they want you to believe is the supernatural is not real. Well, then you have to ask yourself, like, why?
That's interesting.
It is so interesting.
I don't think that's true because the overwhelming majority of our politicians are religious. Most of them are Christian. Most of them have some goofy ass beliefs in terms of supernatural or religious phenomenon, right? So the idea that they don't want you to think the supernatural is real, that's not true. And also we've now had like UFO hearings in Congress. So that's just not true, right? It's kind of a mixed bag, but it's mostly people who believe in some sort of supernatural, non-reality based something out there. It's funny to me he's making this case because I don't, for the life of me, like, what do you say? Do you think all the politicians are like ardent atheists and anti-theists and they don't believe in aliens? Because I don't know. Again, my sense is the opposite. There's both a religious component and a supernatural component, and a lot of them, not that they talk about it, but like I'm sure a lot of them believe in ghosts or think the alien stuff is real. They were literally having hearings on aliens recently, right? So anyway, very weird comment, but let's keep it going.
The main thing they want you to believe is the supernatural is not real. Well, then you have to ask yourself, like, why?
That's interesting.
It is so interesting. Why is that important to you? Why do you care if I think the supernatural is real? Like, why is that? First of all, why is it? How dare you, as my government, try to get involved in my spiritual beliefs? That's totally not your area, so get the fuck out of there, okay? A. But B, why has that been so important for 80 years for you to convince me the supernatural is not real? Why? Why is that? And of course, I can't answer the question. But my gut level response is, well, because if it is real. Whatever they're telling you is not real. And if they're punishing you for saying something you know for a fact is not real, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, not because they don't have no problem with me lying. Because they lie. They lie for a living.
I feel like the people who are more liable to be like, hey, shut up, man, when hearing about supernatural stuff, it's people like me, right? Like, I'm the type of person to be like, shut up because you don't know what you're talking about. Like, none of us know what we're talking about in this field. By definition, paranormal means not normal, means outside the realm of normal, means it's not something we're used to, we're akin to, we understand. That's the whole point. That's the whole category that we're talking about. So it's somebody like me to be like, shut up. But the politicians and the intelligence agencies are clearly not on that page because they're having hearings and shit about it. So they're issuing reports and shit.
You can lie all you want. What you can't do is tell the truth. That is a fact. So once you know that, you can sort of reverse engineer their lies and know with some certainty that whatever they're telling you is not true is in fact true. That's exactly the truth. It's exactly the truth. But then you have to ask motive. Like, it's not a profit motive. Like, does it make them rich to deny that there's supernatural forces? No. What is that? And I don't know the answer. But the obvious answer is, well, because they sort of know they're working for supernatural forces, actually.
All right, he was going from kind of weird but mildly interesting. He just crossed the line into fucking bizarre. He just crossed the line into, what are you on? Like, what? So not only does Tucker Carlson, he knows the supernatural is real. Not only does he know that, he also knows that they, whoever they are, right, fill in the blank, they are working for supernatural forces. How is this any different from Alex Jones or David Icke, whatever his name is? Right, the guy, that's the guy who's like, lizard people run the world. How's this any different from Alex Jones talking about intergalactic gremlins, which he has talked about on Rogan's podcast and elsewhere? How's this any different from that? Okay, Tucker, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. This is like the definition of bro science shit. God, why do you do that? Why would you do this? Again, my guess is it's to get more relevance in this like new media space where there's so many voices, and it's almost like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? The one who's the most obnoxious and says the most absurd things, they're the ones who will get the eyeballs. That's my guess. I mean, he could, let me be fair, he could actually believe it, but that's an even scarier proposition. Because it's like, how? How can you say these things confidently? You know the supernatural is real, and you know that they are working for them.
Like, it's not a profit motive. Like, does it make them rich to deny that there's supernatural forces? No.
Almost everything they do is for the profit motive. The establishment, the powers that be, the politicians, the billionaires, corporations, almost everything comes back to the profit motive. He's like, it's definitely not the profit motive. It's because they're serving fucking Gog and Magog, right? Is that what you think it is, Tucker?
What is that? And I don't know the answer, but the obvious answer is, well, because they sort of know they're working for supernatural forces, actually. And I think that's probably true. And the U.S. government is millions of people.
Is there a specific reason or a handful of reasons, or is this a hunch that you believe that there?
I don't know who this guy is, but he's totally not buying it. He's like, what? What does that even mean, bro? What are you saying? I don't know who this guy is, but I'm enjoying his reaction.
A specific reason or a handful of reasons, or is this a hunch that you believe that they're working with the supernatural realm or have a relationship?
Well, I can't prove that. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, really? Bro, I can't prove that. Oh, you don't say. You can't prove that supernatural forces are real and they are working for them? Well, color me shocked.
I'm suggesting that. I'm not saying it because I can't prove it, but I'm suggesting it. And if you're asking whether I believe it, the answer is yes. But I believe that for two reasons. One, because I was told that directly by a couple of people who I think seem knowledgeable. And
who? He was just on Rogan's podcast sucking off Alex Jones and calling him a prophet. Is that who told you? Is that the one?
I attach some weight to that, though not conclusive weight. I don't know. Right? I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe they're super sophisticated liars. Maybe they're telling me the same lie for some reason. Maybe it's all part of a disinformation campaign. All the geniuses on the internet, the really smart kids seem to think you're falling for the disinformation campaign. Okay. Thanks, son.
His theory is far more bizarre and unlikely than the theory that all of this focus on UFOs, or as they now call them, UAPs, that's a distraction to keep people busy and focused on some stupid shit while the real shit goes on over here and nobody's looking, right? That's a way more plausible theory than the theory that the supernatural forces are real and they are working for them. And he's so smug and dismissive about it, right? Jesus.
I know a lot about disinformation campaigns. Okay. But it's like one of my few areas of expertise, having participated in many unknowingly.
The Iraq War, to name one.
So either they're totally lying or they're telling the truth. But the other reason that I think that is for the reason just stated, which is that their main goal, when I hear a bunch of lying, I want to recognize that it's lying. It's untrue. Like, I know that's untrue. Then I want to ask, what's the nature of the lie? What exactly are they trying to get me to believe or not believe? That's really important. What is it? Like, what's so important to them that they're going to all this effort, spending all this money, getting all these journalists to repeat knowingly or not?
I don't understand this disposition where everything is just like adversarial and contrarian to a nebulous they who are nefarious and bad. Like, you need to evaluate things on their own merit, based on their own evidence. Like, that's how you're supposed to navigate the world, right? You could have a set of values and principles that are your own, beliefs that are your own, but also when engaging with reality, you look at evidence and data and facts and details. At no point should, what are this group of assholes or this group of assholes saying about it, so I can be like contrarian and on the other side of what they do. That's how simpletons navigate themselves in the political landscape, right? I'm against what they did because I'm against them. They are saying something, so they must be wrong. What does that mean? What does that mean, Tucker? That's a child's way of navigating through a complicated and complex and world full of shades of gray, right? Well, they are saying it. They must be wrong. Who is they, and why is that the case? And instead of defining yourself in opposition to an other, why are you not just evaluating the evidence as it is?
Why are they doing that? It takes time to do that. It's a big effort to lie. It's much harder to lie than tell the truth.
By the way, this whole time, 3-minute and 56-second clip, I never got a definition of who they is. He said at one point the U.S. government, but that's millions of people, as if to say, like, it's not all the millions of people. So then who is it? Is it the CIA? Is it the FBI? Is it the military-industrial complex? Is it Democrats, right? Because, you know, he's very oppositional to Democrats, so I assume he would lump them in much more with the nebulous bad forces than he would with Republicans. He supports Trump, of course. Or at least he does publicly, even though behind the scenes he said nothing positive came of the Trump era and that he hates him with a burning passion. Anyway, I don't know what he's doing. Okay, let me just say this. My reaction anytime anybody really tries to start to go deep on conversations about the paranormal or the supernatural, I just tune out. Because at the end of the day, we're always going to end up in the same place. You know what that place is? I don't fucking know, and neither do you. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Give me any individual instance of a UFO sighting, UAP sighting, or whatever, and I can look at it and maybe I find it convincing. Maybe I don't. Maybe the whole thing was a fucking elaborate hoax. Maybe it wasn't, right? I don't know. I don't know. I've seen those terribly produced, UFO shows or ghost shows on, like, the History Channel at 3 a.m. where it's, bro, did you hear that noise, bro? Bro, there's ghosts in this house, bro. And then they run in the other direction. And I'm watching it like, okay, well, I know this is all Hollywood. This is all fake. None of this shit is fucking real. Ghost hunters or whatever fucking trash. Nonsense. This house has been haunted since 1789 and Grandma Gertrude died in there. Like, So there are times where my bullshit meter is off the charts. This is total bullshit, nonsense, rejecting it. Then there's other times you see a particular story and you go, maybe that sounds kind of plausible. I guess it's possible that there's some sort of alien force or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to land on, I don't fucking know. And neither do you. But he doesn't take that perspective. He takes the perspective, the supernatural is definitely real, and they are lying to you about it because they are controlled by it. Okay, if you guys find that convincing, God bless. I certainly don't. All right, guys, that's the show. Everybody subscribe to the channel, hook a brother up, click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. Leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Thank you to all of you who support the show on Patreon. That link's below. Remember, I've never done an ad deal in my life. I'm very proud of that fact, so you guys help fund the show $5 at a time. I really appreciate all you who help us out here. And that's all I got for you, man. By the way, we have Ben Norton coming on Crystal Kyle and Friends this week. That's going to be a phenomenal conversation because we're going to talk about the Mexican election, the new president, AMLO, who just left office, and also Biden's new immigration stuff. So should be a lot of fun, a lot of stuff to get to. Ben is super knowledgeable. And that's all. Sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends below, by the way, so you can get the full episode. It's not just a little clips of Crystal Kyle and Friends. All right, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all. Do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.